Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Aquaponics World. So here's some changes that I've made. This plant right here is not getting enough oxygen, and as you can see, it's still not getting enough oxygen. Basically, the idea is that I would like to have these roots getting a little bit more of this air bubbler here. I tried to set these roots underneath the air bubblers, and the air bubblers broke in pieces, and little pieces of blue dust were all over my fish tank. So I really don't like those long blue bubblers very much. But what I mainly want to do is just try to, let me zoom out a little bit here. Mainly what I want to do is just try to get these roots into the air. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to keep them there. I am having a tough time with keeping plants alive with this aquaponics system. Fish are doing good, but plants are having a tough time. And so let's see, I got some more roots over here. So the thing that I found out about my oh god, now I've lost the bubbler. Good lord. So my goal here is to have the roots on this side of this thing and kind of have the roots stay under the bubblers, but apparently I'm going to have to figure out another way to go about keeping them there, because they seem to be moving around a little bit, not wanting to stay. But that'll do for right now. The thing that I found out about my plants out here is that I had to take off another branch, and I realized that the whole branch was just soggy and black and wrecked. This one's pretty solid still, but the other one was just super soggy. So I believe what happened is that the like I've said in previous videos, the key importance to planting and water is that the water level can't go above the plant. So if the water level's up here, all this plant will get diseased and get soggy and fall apart. And so that's what happened, is that somehow it kind of sunk into the water, something along those lines. And so what has happened to this plant is very sad. It's a sad state of affairs. Last week I was a little preoccupied by a power outage, so this tank did not get cleaned out. I did have the little fish. I had to move the little fish into the big tank with the big fish. Neither one of them liked that at all. The little fish were hiding in one corner, the big fish hiding in another corner. So basically what I have done is taken them back out of this tank and put them back into their little tank. And last week I did not have a chance to clean this tank out. I haven't been feeding them too much, you know, a little pinch. But unlike this tank and these big guys, first of all, they're probably eating all their food. But secondly, this pump, oh yeah, this bubbler's not supposed to be underneath the... This bubbler is not supposed to be underneath the suction, because the suction sucks up the air and messes it up. So I got to put this in here so that the pump doesn't get air in it. I noticed that I was having some problems when I put the bubbler underneath the intake of the pump. because the intake of the pump was taking in air and putting air into this thing, which this thing isn't supposed to have any air in it at all. So anyway, so these guys are getting pretty nasty in there because like this one here has a great pump system and it sucks up all the food off the bottom that isn't eaten, takes it into the intake and then filters it through the filter. So this pump system is a lot better than this one. I'm basically doing the same exact thing with this one. I did clean this one last week. I didn't clean this one last week, but other than that, I'm doing about the same exact thing as far as feeding them. I'm only feeding them a little tiny pinch, you know, but yeah, so it's time to do a complete water change out on this one. And I'm talking about I'm going to get rid of all the water again, get rid of all that food. I'm going to do a water change out on this thing, and I am definitely looking for suggestions on how to keep this plant out of the water. Right now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to have a little bit of a lower water level. And I've seen people tie the top of the plant to the ceiling. So I may do something along those lines, like maybe wrap a string around here and then somehow anchor it into the ceiling there to kind of tie it up. But we'll see. And right now I'm just going to start off by getting the food off the bottom of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 5-gallon tote here. Ooh, that's still got water in it. That's fine. I'm going to take a 5-gallon tote here, and I am going to use my net to scoop some of this food off the bottom here. So if you have one of these cheap systems, one of these cheap little filters here like this is how you do this. You got to just get rid of all your food off the bottom, and this is a once a week thing. You're going to change out some of your water and clean your filter, stuff like that. So I'm just going to be taking the filter out and rinsing it off in here. And again, these filters have beneficial bacteria, so you don't want to throw them away. You can reuse them. The only reason you want to throw these away is if they don't work anymore. The whole goal of this filter is to have beneficial bacteria growing in there. And so far, it's not leaking any of the charcoal bits, and it's still working. So I'm just going to do something like that and then reuse that. I am going to unplug that, and that way I can take it off of there. Because if you're cleaning out your tank, you're taking out some of the water. You don't want to let this get dry and not have water running through it while the motor's on. So while you're cleaning everything out, you just want to make sure that your pump isn't working. And you also want to kind of rinse the pump out too, kind of scrub it out because it gets all slimy and nasty in there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and continue on this process. I'm going to scrub off the sides of the glass as I go, scrub off the bottom of the glass with my hand as I go, and take out some of this water, get rid of the food, clean the filter, and I'll show you guys more in a second here. Okay, so as you can see, I have removed quite a bit of the water from this fish tank, gotten all the food off the bottom. Now, as a reminder, if this is a new fish tank, you just put your fish in there, I would not suggest taking more than about a quarter of the water. These guys have an old filter that has plenty of beneficial bacteria in it, which I just rinsed out, and I'm going to be putting that back in there. So basically they'll be fine because they've been around for a minute. I did stir up some of this food to try to get off as much as I could. I scrubbed the sides of the glass and everything, but this is about as good as I can get it, and I'm going to fill it up with some good clean water, put my dechlorinator in there before I add the water so that it can sit there for 5 minutes like the directions say, and then I'm going to be adding the water back in, filling it back up, putting the pump back on. Changed out the water for this guy, rinsed off the roots, taped up the hoses so that the hoses don't move around, tied a string to the plant and taped it to the ceiling so that way the plant will stay out of the water. And next I'm going to be taking 1/4 of the water out of here. As you can see, the bubbler is below the roots. Got the plants just jammed in behind the intake pump so that the plants don't move around too much. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this thing, and I'll keep you guys posted. I'll be doing videos every week, see how this plant makes it. I've been adding my nutrients every week, so I'll be adding nutrients in there, and I'll show you guys a little bit more on this fish tank in the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Appreciate all my subs. Have a great day.